Well, here we are, possibly the final preview and prediction video of the Miami Dolphins season. Hopefully not, but that's not in our control. But let's talk about it. First things first, from the bottom of my soul, thank you all so much for the love you've been showing me on this channel. I can't believe it's over 600 subscribers. Really, it's been my pleasure. Yeah, I really don't even know what to say. I can't believe it. I can't believe the growth this channel has had over the past few weeks. And I know it's not that much, only 600 and some subscribers. Listen, to me, it's a lot, all right? To me, that is a lot. And, you know, there's been plenty of comments, plenty of trolls. Mostly, it's been positive feedback, so I really appreciate it. I don't even know what else to say. You know, and I know that this might be towards the end of the Dolphins season. Hopefully not, but if it is, I really appreciate it. And yeah, I don't even know what else to add. Just know that the Zamboni appreciates your time listening, and even when the season's over, I'll still be making videos, but it might not be about the Dolphins. So, you know, whether you tune in or not, I understand. But, you know, I just sort of create what I feel like creating at the time. There's no real rhyme or reason. This really was never meant to be a Miami Dolphins YouTube channel. It's just kind of what it became. So, you know, destiny is destiny, right? So, let's talk about it. Dolphins at Arrowhead Stadium, one of the coldest games we'll ever witness. It's a Peacock exclusive. And no, I don't know if you have Peacock, but there ain't no damn way I'm signing up for another streaming service for one game. Like, the NFL will do anything for an extra $5 right out of our hands. Like, I sign up for the NFL app, $100 a year. Sign up for Red Zone. What's that? $300, $400. Or Sunday Ticket, I mean. I got Hulu to watch the local games. That's $60 a month. Now you want another $5 to $10 for Peacock? Yeah, I'll be legally streaming that shit. Anyway, just wanted to get that off my chest. I know last you heard of me was my Tua video. And I really think that video came off way more anti-Tua than I intended. There's definitely some frustration in the fan base, especially with those late game drives, including myself, definitely frustrated with it. But, you know, I understand a lot of the comments and I agree with a lot of them, but I think it was just a little more anti-Tua than what I meant to put out there. So, you know, I'll make another Tua video after the season. He's got a chance to redeem himself in the playoffs, Arrowhead Stadium. But, you know, didn't mean to make it seem like I'm ready to move on this second, because I'm not. Unless there's some sort of proven top-tier quarterback somehow coming onto the market, but I don't think that's happening. Just really, I was trying to be objective and look at both sides of things. And I think a lot of fans feel the same frustration that I've been feeling. You know, not being able to finish off these big games. And it's not just Tua. It's not just this year. It's been my entire life. And I know a big portion of the viewer base this channel has are older people. Old fucks, as I like to call them, that have been alive to see success. Been alive to see Dan Marino. Been alive for Bob Greasy back in the ancient times. Listen, I haven't been alive for any of that. All I have ever been alive to see is either the Dolphins suck or they're just good enough to blow it when, you know, the challenge is on, the heat's on, and we fold like lawn chairs. You know, constantly getting hyped up for these games that are on the national radar. We wait all day for the game to start, and the Dolphins most of the time get their fucking asses kicked, all right? Or they just come out flat, but, you know, I think that's the frustrating thing. A lot of people have been waiting their entire lives, or most of their lives, to see this Dolphin team turn it around, and it just hasn't happened yet. So, you know, this Dolphin team did have Super Bowl aspirations, and they were talking about it in the locker room. And at this point, now that our whole defense is injured, a good portion of our offense is either playing injured or is out. It seems like that goal has unraveled a little bit. I would say that it's fair to say that a Super Bowl is probably not a realistic outcome to this season. However, is going into Kansas City and winning our first playoff game in 20-some years realistic? I think so. I think it's realistic. Do I think it's going to happen? Well, wait till the end of the video. I'll drop an actual prediction. But, there's some questions to be answered. And since this might be the final preview of the year, this one's going to be a little bit different anyway. So 2 years in a row now, this team has made the playoffs as a wild card team. Hasn't won the division. They were damn close this year, but once again headed onto the road to a cold environment. And, the story here is this could potentially be the coldest game in Dolphins history. And, or at least the coldest game since like 2008 when they played in Kansas City. I don't see that being a huge deal, to be honest with you, considering these are professional athletes. But the question I would have for Mike McDaniel is, how the hell are we preparing for this? Because those Kansas City players, they've been in it. They've experienced it for years now. And on one hand, bad weather can kind of be an equalizer, force them to run the ball, us to play run defense and run the ball more. But it could also cause us to come up on the short end of the stick. When you're out in the cold, I don't know how many of you have been in northern climates, considering this is a Dolphin-centric video. But if you're from a northern climate or you've been in a northern climate, you'll know that, the difference between extreme heat and extreme cold is that the heat is uncomfortable. It makes you sweat. It makes you tire out. The cold fucking hurts, all right? It just hurts. That gust of wind when it's 10 degrees outside hitting your fucking skin, it hurts. Like, it physically makes you clench your teeth together and get violently angry for a few seconds. Catching the football in freezing weather, it hurts your hands. Getting hit and slammed to the fucking hard-ass, cold ground is gonna hurt. So it's gonna be a test of willpower. It's going to be a test of willpower for this group of human beings with their own expectations. And some of these guys for the Dolphins are going to have more willpower than others. But what I will say, on some level, I think that after the Buffalo game, that the team was dejected. And you could see even in Tua's press conference after the game, he only took questions for about 3 minutes, and then he dipped out. So, is that going to be something where the troops get galvanized and we go, all right, no one is giving us a chance to win this game? I don't think there's anyone out there that's going, yeah, I'm confident that the Dolphins are going to beat the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium and in 2-degree weather. I'm sure not that confident. But that might be what this team needs to come together and play a complete game, even well being as shorthanded as they are. Look, the Dolphins have every reason to lose this game 45-0. But if I know anything about Mr. Mike McDaniel, he's going to at least give his best shot at galvanizing the troops, and hopefully they'll be willing to go to war. And if they do, well, that's another year where we get to say, well, we got the right coach. And in my opinion, although he's been getting a lot of heat online, I think that we do have the right coach. Certainly, does he get away from the run sometimes while it's working? Sure. But you know what? In that Buffalo game, in the second half, the run game wasn't working when we were trying it, and he gambled on the passing game. And I have no problem with that. I know that it seems like the smart thing to do is in early downs, while it's working, run the football. And I agree to some extent to that, but I don't really have a problem with when you're running the ball and it's 2nd and 13, well, now you're going to shift to the pass. and next time it's 1st and 10, you pass. Look, he took a gamble on the passing game, and he lost. And I still respect that, because you know what? You know who he puts his balls on the table. Let's say that. That's what Mike McDaniel does, at the very least. And you know who didn't put their balls on the table? Adam Gase, Joe Philbin, and any of these other guys that we've seen the past few years outside of, Brian Flores and Tony Sperano. Anyways, if we look at Kansas City, they're vulnerable right now. They haven't looked good towards the back end of the season. They're pretty much coming off of a bye week because they didn't play their starters against the Chargers. And, the last game before that was it the Bengals game? And then before that, the Raiders game. I mean, they haven't looked great, even at Arrowhead Stadium. So, there's holes in their armor right now that the Dolphins could take advantage of if they so desire. And I'm hoping that they desire to. Do I think that they're gonna? I don't know. If we look back at the game in Germany, that was one the Dolphins should have had. They really should have. The fumble by Tyreek Hill, the offense was way more flat than we've seen at any other point. I mean, we just couldn't get it done. But that, just like the Bills game, ended 21-14. Last chance saloon. Tua had the ball, and it didn't happen. Well, I don't know how you guys feel, but let me know in the comments. If the Dolphins go into Kansas City and win a playoff game for the first time in like 22 years, does that make everything right? Even if we go into Baltimore and get our teeth kicked in the following week. For me personally, does it make everything right? No. But it goes a long way. Because I haven't been alive to see this team win a playoff game. And it would mean a lot just to get one under our belt. And also, not to mention, Tua, our quarterback, has never even played in a playoff game yet. So I don't know how many quarterbacks have never had playoff experience and then just won a Super Bowl right off rip, other than maybe Tom Brady. But, other than that, it doesn't happen very often. And I know there were Super Bowl aspirations, but there's steps to take, right? So if Tua could get the playoff experience at Arrowhead and the Dolphins somehow win and then get another full game of experience, whether we win or lose, those reps will be very valuable regardless. And that's how I feel about it. So I do feel, to some capacity, winning this football game rights the ship. It rights the ship headed into next season. Because right now, I think that we're just too injured to make a Super Bowl run. Our pass rush is depleted. That's a big part of who we are, was rushing the passer. And I like Melvin Ingram. I like Agba. I like them as backups. And, having that Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb combo gone for the season, that hurts us. Jerome Baker, out for the season. Xavier Howard, he ain't playing. I mean, we're really depleted out there. And injuries aren't an excuse because they happen to every team. But there are teams out there that have the same offensive line and a lot of the same starters. There's no way to get through an entire NFL season unscathed. But this team really has been beaten down with injuries. And, it seems to be a theme, but is it a luck thing? Is it a training staff thing? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not in the locker room to really give a solid answer on that, but the situation is what it is. I mean, a lot of these off-ball injuries, to me, that's just bad luck when the snap comes and your Achilles pops. There's nothing anyone could do about that or to predict that. It's just unfortunate. So this Miami Dolphin team going into Kansas City, coldest game of the season, probably coldest game there's been in years. Every reason to fold and lose this game. And, let's see it. Let's see it. All right, Tua going in a cold climate proved me wrong last year in Buffalo when I thought we'd get our asses kicked. getting another shot to prove me wrong, because my prediction is that the Dolphins are going to lose this game 31-14. So consider me one of the doubters. And I would love to be proved wrong. And this is the one circumstance where I'm kind of on edge, where I'm like, maybe they can prove me wrong. But they got to do it first. They got to actually do it. So, to this point, given what I've seen the past couple weeks, I don't see it happening. But, it's not up to me. It's not up to you. It's not up to us. It's up to the Miami Dolphins to come together and, play a playoff game. Put your balls on the table. See what happens. And that's what I'm hoping to see. Win or lose. Put your fucking nuts on the table. Just like last year when we played Buffalo. Did it suck that we lost the game? Sure. But you know what? They pulled out their balls. They smacked them on the table. And we all left that game going, I take pride in that. I'll take that. And, we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I appreciate all of your time throughout the season. Hopefully it doesn't end this week, but if it does, I'll still be here after the Dolphins season, but I understand that the main reason people are here to hear me ramble about our beloved Miami Dolphins. So, if this is it, if this is the final preview video, understand that I will be back when there's something to talk about. And also, I'll be back for the post game. But, if this is nearing the end, just know I appreciate every moment you've spent listening to me incoherently ramble into the microphone, sometimes drunk as hell. All right, sometimes I rip the Benjamin 5 or 6 times, high as balls, blabbering my mouth off. Actually, these preview videos I make while I'm working. That's right. I'm on the clock. They think I'm working right now, but I'm on here on the mic talking my shit. All right? So I appreciate it. And, fizz the fuck up. I'll see you fucking Saturday night watching that Peacock exclusive that we will be legally streaming on Peacock. All right. See ya.